All right, cool. So I'm going to talk kind of the final lesson, not the final lesson because we'll go more, but the final two concepts. So getting comfortable. All you really need, and again, all this talk about hip structure, legs, all you actually need to hold yourself up in a handstand is shoulder tension. So the shoulders are not loose. The shoulders have to push a certain amount to hold your weight. And then the balance comes from the hands. So if you have hands and shoulders, you have a handstand. Your legs can be in whatever position, right? You can twerk in a handstand if you want to, as long as your shoulders are solid. So the balance, all we're gonna do, we're gonna go quick progression. We're not adding anything new, but we're combining. So this thing that we did in the warm-up, these hand movements, we're just gonna do the hand movements in a handstand. And the goal now is to feel that you can use your hands to move your whole body. Just like we did with our feet, it's the same thing. It's just that you have to do it with a lot more precision because you haven't been balancing on your hands for as long as your feet, and your hands don't have the same. I don't know what the force the Achilles tendon can produce this way, but it's probably at least like 5 times more than what your wrist and forearm can produce. So, chest to wall handstand, only the hands. So my feet are very light. This is actually a very difficult exercise to do right because what most people want to do is this or this. So it's very important that you try to use only the hands, even if your feet don't come off the wall, because if you get used to pushing off the wall, you're going to go here and you say, okay, this is how to balance. Where's the wall? You have nothing to push off of. So the point is that you're not using the wall to help you balance, you're using the wall to help get you into balance. So very light foot touch. You can do foot or whole body. Foot is probably the best. No shoes. I'm wearing shoes right now. No shoes is actually better for these drills because you have a better sense, even if you wear real light shoes, you have better sensitivity of how much weight your feet have. And the feet should slide like this, just barely come off, because the feet are only moving because the hands made them move. So chest to wall, you push in with the heel, the weight goes into the fingers, push with the fingers, you come back. Back to wall, it's the opposite. You push with the fingers, or this wall is a little bit slanted to get away from the wall, and then you come back. And it's gonna, this is one exercise that it's gonna humble you because it's easy to come off the wall, but to do it in a very specific way is not so easy. So you have to be really precise with not kicking, not pushing off the wall, not changing your body position, just using your hands and feeling that your hands control the movement and position of your whole body. So that's what it turns into, is freestanding. The hands control the weight distribution. And there's kind of 4 stages of balance. So number 1 is just the initiation, the approximation, where you do the movement without the handstand. Number 2, you do the movement in a handstand, but it's very isolated. Number 3, it becomes, when you get freestanding, which we'll do next, it becomes reactive. So this is that wobbly balance is what ends up happening is you start to feel, okay, I'm falling this way, then I'm gonna push and bring myself back, but I pushed a little bit late. So reaction, reaction, reaction. And then it becomes an anticipation. Anticipation is when you feel which way you're gonna fall and you react before you fall. And that's when you have that still balance. And a still balance is not actually still. I'm moving through the hands, but I'm moving through the hands early enough and precisely enough that my legs don't have to move. It takes time to get there. But if you just do this and then expect yourself to balance, it's not going to happen by itself. Like maybe as a kid, maybe. Most gymnasts, you ask them how they hold a handstand, they have no fucking clue. They're like, I don't know, you just kick up and then you hold it. Because they learned as kids, and kids don't have to learn something consciously to understand it. And to some degree, that's a higher level of learning it, because you don't lose it. But if you take 100 adults and you train them the same way the kids are trained, the rate of success is going to be much, much, much smaller because adults usually have to learn something consciously. So it's this idea that I'm consciously using my hands to take the balance. In the beginning, I might not even come off the wall, but as long as I feel the hands, then I'm going to come off the wall just for a second, just for a pulse. Don't get greedy. 1, 2, come back. 1, 2, 3, come back. Getting greedy is when you can hold for 2 seconds and you go for 5 and then you fall. You would have been better off doing the 2 5 times in a row. Because then it becomes like marksmanship. It's like, whatever, I have a bow or a gun or whatever I want to shoot. Maybe if I close my eyes, I'll hit the bullseye. Maybe. But I probably won't do it again. So it's not this idea of what you can do once, it's the idea of what can you repeatedly do. And then in marksmanship, it's not just about one, it's about your grouping. So you got a group like this, and then you can turn it into a group like this. Then you can move the target further. Then you can do some kind of like quick draw. Then you can do duress training, and then you can do whatever, all this other stuff. So it's a similar idea, consistency. So that's the balance. You can move further from the wall. So the wall scissor drill, again, it's subtle. Coming off the wall is not difficult. I can push, but that doesn't help me. So what I want to do is use my hands and then close the legs. Whoa, 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 whoa. Gentle, deliberate, try not to make any sudden moves. I like to use the analogy, if you're sneaking up to an animal, you don't want to scare the animal as much as you can, because you're going to fall learning it. And then the third thing, and I'll go around and we'll do some more stuff while my brain is going. So kick-ups, because I've seen a few kick-ups already that were not very precise, let's say. So I prefer not to teach in gymnastics. They're going to have you kick up like this. Ba, 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 ba. Very nice. I don't think it's the most useful for handstand, for a hand balancing handstand, because number one, it takes up space. I used to train in my bedroom. I don't know if you guys do. I kicked a lot of walls and tables before I learned to make my movements compact. But also there's a lot of stuff going on, and I'm a minimalist. So I like to do this. I start already with the weight of my hands, so I don't have to worry about where I put my shoulders. One leg kicks, come down. My shoulders always stay on my hands. I go a little bit higher, a little bit higher, a little bit higher. And then I can get these moments of legs together. And right now, very important, I didn't do any amount of balance corrections when I did that. That was just the kick. So my intention when I do this kick is just to hit the handstand. It's not to balance the handstand, because when I put that constraint and my balance isn't there yet, I'm going to be thinking about the balance before the kick, and it's going to be all over the place. So I'm separating for now, separating the getting into the handstand freestanding, balance of the handstand. Let's do that for a couple minutes, or do whatever you're doing. Hey there, I hope your training journey is going well. I know handstand can be super rewarding to learn, but at the same time can also be very frustrating. I know how that is. I've gone through a lot of those struggles, and sometimes it just takes years. However, I know that you can speed up your time if you have the right guidance, the right programming, if you know what to do. And this is something I offer in my online community. So go to school.com/handstand. In there you'll find professionally recorded handstand courses. You're going to find workshops that we do every month, question and answer calls, and of course you can post up videos of what you're working on and get individual feedback from myself and other members of the community. So it's a really good value, and you can always do a 7-day free trial to see if you like it or not. So school.com/handstand, check it out below.